This is the Jeff Jerina Show.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the show. And if this is your first time here, I'm really glad that you're tuning in. My name's Jeff Jerina, and I'm a Christian author, entrepreneur, and coach, and I'm also the CEO and founder of two businesses that help people just like you live out their God-given design. And one part of what I do is all about helping people grow their message or their mission online, whether that's with web design, web hosting, digital marketing, podcasting, podcast coaching, or even book publishing. And the other side of my work is where I help people start and grow their own Christmas lighting business through online courses, strategy, tools, and coaching that actually works in the real world. But more than anything, this podcast is about helping you live intentionally with faith, clarity, and purpose. And I'm talking about in the everyday stuff that matters most. Now, before we get into today's episode, I want to give you a quick heads up that right now for the month of July, I'm offering a 20% off sale on everything in my store. That means that all my books, online courses, digital downloads, resources, all of it is 20% off. So if you've been wanting to grow your leadership, deepen your faith, or maybe move forward in something that God's placed in your heart, now's the time because the sale ends on July 31st. So hop on over to jeffjerina.com/store and use the code July20SALE at checkout. That's July 20 SALE. All right, so let's talk about legacy here. And the reason why I want to talk about this is just the other day, I was driving around and this thought just out of the blue came to me out of nowhere. And here's the thought. What would my son and daughter say about me to someone else? And I just got to let you know that when I had that thought, I was like, whoa, I got to think about that. And I'm talking about here, not just on Father's Day or when I'm standing in the room with them or, on my birthday, but 10, 20 years from now, maybe 30 years from now. What kind of person or man will they remember? What kind of dad will I have been? And it made me pause because, man, so many times we spend so much time thinking about how to build things, right? How to grow things, how to lead people, how to scale businesses, how to get better at our job. But at the end of the day, the legacy that we leave isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet, those everyday moments when no one else is watching. And the biggest legacy is the legacy that you leave your children. So today's episode is a little bit different. It's not about marketing or leadership strategy or even personal development per se. It's about what matters most. So the question here is this. What will your kids say about you one day? And so as you're thinking about that question, I want to give you a challenge. Here's a challenge I have for you today. There's a deeper question here, and here it is. If your kids had to give your eulogy 20 years from now, what would they say? Would they talk about your car or your job title, how much you post on social media, or your hobbies or activities? Or would they say this? My dad always made time for me. My mom always made time for me. My dad, my mom, they love Jesus in a real way. I can see them own their faith. They prayed with me when I was afraid. They show me what patience looked like, what grace looked like, what courage looked like, how to be a good sport. Now this question hits hard. Trust me, I know. But if you're brave enough to ask it now, and we really have to be brave enough to ask ourselves this question. And I think if you are, you'll be able to lead your family in a way that creates a future that you don't regret. So let me give you 3 quick questions. And by the way, that's pretty tough to say. Try saying that 5 times fast. 3 quick questions. But I want to give you 3 questions to reset your focus today as a parent. So the first question is this. Are you modeling what matters most? Now, you probably know this as much as I if you're a mom or a dad. Your kids are watching you more than what you're saying, right? They're going to catch what you live more than what you say. So what are they picking up from you right now, such as how you handle stress, how you treat others, where you spend most of your time? Now, the second question is this. Am I present or just around? Now, I've said this on another podcast episode, but being present physically is a lot different than being present emotionally or spiritually. So when you're hanging out with your kids, man, you've got to be present, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And I think the biggest word here that I can think of, the one that to me sums it all up about how to do this the right way, is you have to be engaged. You have to be engaged fully with your children when you're hanging out with them, when they're speaking with you. You got to put your phone up. You got to turn off the computer. You got to put those notifications away, and you have to focus on them in that moment. Be engaged. So the third question is this: am I discipling my kids or just trying to raise good ones? Now, being a good kid isn't the same as being a follower of Jesus Christ. So are you pointing them toward Christ in the everyday stuff of life? Not just with Bible verses, but with grace, with honesty, and your own faith-based walk. Now, I get it here. None of us gets this right all the time. In fact, many days I get this wrong. In fact, most days I get this wrong. But I want to get better. And I think that's the key here. And I remember in Scripture, it says that David is a man after God's own heart. That's not because David was sinless, but because he wanted to do the right thing. Be willing to do the right thing, knowing we're not going to always do the right thing, but at least have that mindset, at least have the heart that you want to do the right thing. Now, you might be listening today and you're thinking, come on, Jeff, I've blown it in some of these areas. Well, here you go. Join the club, because I have too. But here's the good news. You don't need to be perfect to leave a powerful legacy. You just have to be humble, intentional, and surrendered and willing to change, to get it right, to be better, to go to the Lord and say, God, I messed up. Go to your kids and say, hey, I messed up. Can you forgive me? And I believe that God can do more through one faithful, imperfect parent who leads with love than through any platform, paycheck, or plan. And newsflash here, faithful and perfect parent, every single one of us is imperfect. So God can do all this stuff through you. So here's your encouragement today. Start living now the story that you want your kids to tell later. You've still got time, even if they're teenagers, even if they've moved out. Today is a new day. It's an opportunity to write a new page in your chapter of your book, the legacy that you're going to leave your children. All right, so what'd you think of today's podcast? I hope it helped you in some way, and I hope that you got something real to think about. And remember, you don't have to be perfect to leave a powerful legacy. Your kids don't need a flawless parent. In fact, they don't even want that. They just need a present, faithful, and intentional one. So wherever you are today, whether you're feeling like you're crushing it or kind of just, fumbling through, take heart, because God works with humility. And you still have time to start living the story that you want your kids to tell others one day. Now, before we wrap it up, just want to give you a quick reminder. For the entire month of July, you can take 20% off everything in my store. That's books, courses, coaching, tools, all of it. Just head to jeffjerina.com/store and use promo code July20SELL at checkout. And hey, if you're not already on my email list, I'd love for you to join the newsletter. That's where I send out weekly encouragement, early access to new content, and behind-the-scenes updates that you won't find anywhere else. So all you need to do to sign up for the newsletter is go to jeffjerina.com/newsletter. And remember, it's totally free, and it's just one more way that I can walk alongside you in your own personal journey. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in again. I'll see you in the next episode. God bless.